to get away. All this fussing and fighting, man, you know I sure can't stay. Now baby, back and leave the truck, you know we've got to leave today. Just exactly where we're going I cannot say, but we might even leave the USA. 'Cause it's a brand new game I wanna play. No use of you running or screaming and crying, 'cause you've got a home as long as I've got mine.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. How they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you, and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. How they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together, so happy together. And how is the weather? So happy together.
No. Good evening, everybody. Welcome here to UCLA. Happy that all of you could make it tonight. UCLA, should LA 2024 get the bid, will be the host for the Athletes Village, which is real exciting for all of us. I think it's kind of appropriate that we're here at Pauley Pavilion. UCLA men's basketball has won more titles than any other college basketball program. And the guy to my right has won more Olympic titles than any other Olympian in the history of the Olympic Games. So without further ado, we'll go about 30 minutes here with Michael. There will be no breakdowns after the Q&A period, so if you have a question for him, raise your hand. We have a microphone. We'll call on you. Identify yourself, please, with your name and your affiliation, and we'll go from there. Michael, first question. I'll take this one. We're going to talk a lot about Rio and Omaha and moving forward, but why don't you take us back a little bit to the first time you ever had your USA flag cap and kind of the emotion and what that meant to you when you were first presented with that?
I mean, as a kid as a kid growing up in the sport of swimming, I watched people like Pablo Morales and I guess that was the same time as Summer Sanders and the tail end of Janet's career, and Anita Knoll, Beth Botsford, who swam for North Baltimore Aquatic Club. Sort of watching them participate in the Olympic Games was always a dream of mine, and from the age of 11 when Bob told me that I could make an Olympic team in 4 years, for some strange reason that day I decided to trust him and believe that he could take me there. 4 years later I made my first Olympic team in 2000, and being able to wear the stars and stripes, it's probably been one of the coolest things in my career. Being able to represent your country, for me, on international soil, it's been incredible. And the chance to be able to listen to the national anthem play while there's a gold medal hanging around your neck, as an athlete, it doesn't get much better than that. And every single time I travel overseas, whether it's for an Olympic Games or for an international competition, there's nothing better than putting the stars and stripes on and wearing that American flag across your cap and just seeing what people, I guess, how they look at you and I guess kind of the power that we carry as a team.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. If you could please raise your hand and we'll call on you.
I might be a little slow too, sorry guys. It's been a long day.
You got the mic? Okay, we'll go back there.
Nick Wolliver, Olympic Rings and Other Things. I was reading your books, and you talk quite a bit in the books about your coach and specific coaching method that you went through to prepare for the previous games. Just wondered how how your training has evolved, or are you sticking to that routine?
The previous Olympics, I don't think there was really a training routine going on. I don't think there was anything involved leading into 2012. But as we are right now, I think it's the training routine that I'm going through right now is the same one that I went through, I would say, for 2004 and 2008. I think in 2000, I was a little kid that Bob could say, do 20,000 and I would do it. I think it's a little different now, and I probably don't need that same kind of approach now that I had back then. But I have full trust in Bob and Keenan with everything that they do, and when we swim, I probably work out. I'm probably in the pool and in the gym 30 hours a week. So I look at it as a pretty fun job. It's a pretty nice gig. You get to do something you love, and it's for 30 hours a week. So it's, I think the biggest thing now that's different really from before is just the amount of recovery that I do and that I'm putting myself through. At the age of 30, it's a lot more challenging, I think, to be able to bounce back from day to day regimens. So, for me, spending more time on getting work done, whether it's getting cupped and working with Graston tools with Keenan and stretching more and making sure my stability of my shoulders are fine and cold tubs, like that kind of stuff, and just really staying on top of nutrition. And Nicole and I are pretty much in bed before 10 o'clock every night. So it's just some of the small things that we try to keep up on to make sure I'm the best that I can be at every workout.
Hi, Alyssa with Us Weekly. How is knowing that you'll be a father come Rio motivating you in a new way with your training?
I think the coolest thing about, one of the coolest things about being a father going into Rio is that our firstborn has the chance to see my last race ever. And I think that's something that'll be really special, that we'll be able to share stories with him, from the time he gets old enough to realize, and I'm excited to have a lot of photos and just to share the moments and memories with him growing up as a kid.
Michael, Steve Futterman from CBS News. Last time I asked you a question was in London. You were in a different stage of your career then. I just wanted to know, I mean, I don't think anyone questions your sincerity at that time. What did you miss about the sport? Or you elaborate to us, what made you want to come back?
I knew this was going to come.
but it's interesting to hear what you have to say, because obviously you were totally sincere when that happened.
Sure. Yeah, you know, I think back then, you know, in 2012, I wanted nothing to do with the sport anymore. I was completely finished. I was ready to move on and ready to retire. And, you know, I don't really know what I wanted to do at that point, where I wanted to go. But I was just finished. I was over it. And I didn't want to train anymore. And you know, I guess after a year and a half off, I just randomly decided to jump back in the pool after 30 pounds overweight. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll just splash around and see what happens. And I started liking what I was doing and started enjoying being back in the water again. I think I was in a different place mentally than I was in 2012, and I just said, what the hell, you know, might as well just do it again. You know, I'm young enough. This is my last chance to do it. And I wanted to do it the way that I should have done it in 2012. I wanted to prepare for an Olympic Games like I should have. You know, I never wanted to have, I've said this so many times, I don't want to have a what if, and you know, I think 20 years later, if I would have looked back to London, I think I would have been disappointed with myself, and I would have let myself down for how I prepared myself. And that's something I never want to live with. So being able to come back and to approach this Olympics the way that Bob and I want to, and actually enjoy this time around. You know, I think going to 2012, it was like pulling teeth. It was brutal. You know, you could barely get me to the pool. You know, I was talking to Matt Lauer the other day, and he was saying, did you really come back to the pool because we had an interview with you? And I was like, yeah, it sounds about right. Like, you were gone for 10 days, and then on the 11th day you came back because you knew we were doing an interview with you. And I was like, yeah, it's probably not far from the truth. So I mean, it was really hard to keep me in the pool and to keep me motivated, I think, going into 2012. And I think it's the complete opposite now. You know, I feel like a kid again. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. It's exciting. We have a great training group, and you know, I think the results are kind of speaking for themselves. And you know, I feel like I did when I was in high school, and I think that's something that I love. And yeah, the results are a lot cooler this time than they were last time. That's for sure.
We'll go with Wayne.
What my day has been like today? Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. The question was, what was my day like today and a year and a half ago, life without really anything, without sponsorships or anything. Explain what today was like. I mean, today was incredible, you know. A long day, for sure. We left the hotel went to the pool at like 7. We left the hotel at 9 o'clock to head over to Under Armour. And then we kind of started at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And kind of just ran through interviews the whole entire day. One thing to another. Keenan put me through which is normally a 40-minute workout, 45-minute workout at home in 20 minutes to show media kind of what we do in the weight room. And we did some more sit-downs after that, after the press conference, and then literally hopped on a plane, flew out here, landed in Van Nuys, and heading back home tonight. But a year and a half ago, you know, for me to still be able to have the opportunity to work with Kevin and work with Under Armour, I think, is something that is truly special for me. Just being from Baltimore and watching Kevin grow Under Armour into what it is today. You know, I think it shows a lot about what our city is like and how hardworking our city is and how passionate we are about sports. You know, Kevin is probably one of the largest visionaries I've ever met in my entire life. And what he's doing is, I mean, it's mind-blowing. Just some of the ideas that he's shared with me that he has in the future are mind-boggling. So, you know, for me to be able to be where I am today, you know, I truly believe that this is, I guess more and more every day, I look back and I see how much my life is a dream come true. You know, everything in life happens for a reason, and I'm sitting here today for a reason. Whatever that reason is, I don't know. But for some reason, I've been able to have the opportunity to be able to continue what I do and do it well.
Michael, I'm Martin from Dutch Television. I read your recent interview in the Sports Illustrated with you, a very nice and good article, and you were very open about the difficult times you had. How difficult is it to share those things with the world, and how did you recover from it and became the old Michael again?
I think you saw how difficult it was to not share anything for so many years. You know, and when I said I want to show people who I am, that's what I wanted to do. You know, I didn't want to have to, like, I'm sure some of the reporters in here, you guys are used to me dodging questions from left to right. You guys would throw me a couple questions and I would run the other direction. You can kind of ask me anything and I'll give you my honest answer. You know, this is who I am, and I don't have anything to be afraid of or anything to hide from, and that's what I want to show people. I want to show people who I really am, because I'm not sure the world has really seen who I am. I think they've seen me as a swimmer, but not really all as a person. So, you know, it was an opportunity for me just to be myself. And to be quite honest, you know, you guys have whatever opinion you have of me, and that's fine. I am who I am, and I'm not sugarcoating anything. So the SI article was one of the rawest written articles I've ever seen. I'm happy I did it, and I'm happy to be able to have some other interviews that I've had that will be coming out soon.
Hi, Michael. Vanessa Ruiz with 12 News in Phoenix. We're happy to have you in Arizona. Can you talk to me a little bit about what your training is like over at ASU? And also just what's your life like in Tempe? And I know with Nicole, you guys are seen all over town, and people love having you there. So love to hear how that's going for you guys.
I mean, training is normal. It's, you know, we have doubles 3 days a week, and I started coming in on Sundays just kind of on my own. Just trying to swim 7 days a week again, and always try to have a touch of the water. Plus, it's always good to have a nice vitamin D hit on Sundays. I mean, our life is, I don't know, we're homebodies. You know, we don't really leave the house that much unless we're going to grab a bite to eat or running some errands. And you know, I'll say that the sort of being in Tempe and living in Scottsdale has been great. You know, I can't tell you how many people have not stopped and asked for a picture, but just came up and shook my hand, you know, say how proud they are of me, supporting me, looking forward to the summer. And it's been really awesome. You know, I honestly feel like we've been welcomed with open arms, and golfing year-round is pretty nice. I try to get out a lot more now than I did back in Baltimore. It's a lot easier to get out more now, and there are a lot of amazing golf courses. So, you know, we're enjoying it, and the sunsets, I think, are pretty amazing too. You know, sort of being able to look out our backyard and look at Camelback Mountain and see the sunsets, they're pretty incredible.
We're going to go with Nancy, and then we're going to bring the mic over to this side of the room and give them a chance.
Nancy Armour with you, USA Today. Michael, when you talk about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, when you revisit that, do you even recognize yourself, and what kind of thoughts does that bring to you of who you were and maybe what it's given you now?
Do I recognize myself? Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I mean, I think I see a complete change. Just living a sort of freer, happier life now. I think it's something that is a huge change. I don't feel like I'm carrying weights around anymore. You know, I feel like whatever I've been holding inside of me has been able I've been able to get it out and kind of start fresh, and that's a pretty incredible feeling. I mean, when I look in the mirror, I'm still the same person, but I think how I approach things, I think, are a little bit differently, and I mean, I guess Nicole would say it would be night and day. I think I've heard her say that before. Between then and now, and yeah, I don't know. I guess the biggest change that I see is like I'm a lot more laid back. I'm a lot more open. I keep the most important people closer to me than I ever have before. I actually pick up the phone when somebody calls. That's a big change. I used to always dodge phone calls. I'm just more engaged in everything that I do in my life, and I think that's a big change as well. And I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, the process that I went through was difficult and challenging, but I mean, I've gotten the question a couple of times if I could change anything in my life, would I? I wouldn't. Everything happens for a reason, and you know, I'm thankful that I'm sitting here alive today and able to grow from the experiences that I've had.
We'll go over here with Anne.
Hi, Michael. Ann Killian with the San Francisco Chronicle. I have a couple of questions. The Under Armour commercial I saw it online today for the first time. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are about it, and also your company that you were with right from the get-go is having one of the record years for any kind of apparel company, and I'm wondering how much do you know Steph and Cam, and do you feel like kind of a part of this whole amazing year that Under Armour's having?
I mean, the commercial turned out incredible. You know, it's kind of like a little glimpse of what I go through every day. You know, I think in a way, a lot of people don't really know sort of the ins and outs of what I do on a day-to-day basis, and that kind of sums it up. And you know, for me, it's a 24/7 job. It's not something that, you know, I say, you know, like I showed earlier, I work 25 to 30 hours a week, but you know, to be honest, I really work 24/7, just constantly around the clock trying to make sure every little thing is right. And you know, for me, I've known Kevin for a long time, and I've been a part of Under Armour for a long time. We're like a family. You know, I've known Steph from the get-go, and I've yet to meet Cam, but a couple of the other receivers I've gotten to know really well from the NFL, and you know, when Preakness is in town, we're all together. There are just certain events where we all get together, and we are one big happy family, and you know, I think that's kind of just how Kevin is. Kevin always wants to help and always wants to do whatever he can for any of his athletes, and you know, I'm just, like I said before, just thankful to be a part of it, and you know, Kevin's kind of like a dad to all of us as well, and he's nothing but incredible, and it's been really cool to watch the company grow and change, especially really, you know, like you said, over the last year. You know, I was having a conversation with somebody today. You know, you look at Steph, Jordan Spieth, Cam Newton, some of the biggest names in the biggest sports in America. So it's definitely a record-breaking year, and I mean, I could say if you could probably ask Kevin, he's going to say we'll do even bigger next year. You know, that's just who Kevin is. He's always looking to the future, and he's always looking for bigger and better things. It's been really cool and really fun, and you know, I can't wait to see what else he has up his sleeve to make the next push forward.
Go ahead, Beth.
Michael, Beth from AP. A month from now, Kobe Bryant is going to call it quits. And he's talked a lot about what he wants to do going forward creatively with writing and film and things like that. I know obviously you have a lot between now and the end of the line, but have you given a thought? What can we expect from you? What do you want to pursue that maybe something we haven't seen you interested in before, perhaps?
I'm going to raise a kid. That's going to be the first thing. You know, being away from my child, you know, during trials and hopefully during the games, hopefully, but not really hopefully, sorry. That sounds bad. Hopefully I'm in Rio, but you know, I'm looking forward to being able to get back with our son. I honestly don't know. You know, I guess besides, you know, continuing to grow the sport of swimming, continuing to get as many kids water safe as I possibly can, continuing to help kids live healthy and active lifestyles. Besides that, I really don't know. I think that's going to be a good portion to start with. And where Nicole and I move from there, time will tell. You know, we've talked about a lot of different things and trying a lot of different things. Just having fun. I think that's something we're really looking forward to. And you know, I can't say it enough. I am really looking forward to being able to get back with our son, and to sort of watch him grow every step of the way. I think it's something that's really going to be truly exciting and a new experience for both of us.
With Pat and then Bonnie.
Pat Forty from Yahoo Sports.
They're working on the audio.
Me? I can hear myself echoing.
Anyway.
Go ahead, Pat.
Pat Forty from Yahoo Sports. Since you're open to any question now.
Oh man, I opened up a can of worms, didn't I?
Give us even broad strokes of what your emphasis is going to be between now and Omaha as far as events.
I mean, yeah, come on guys, you guys know that's just a no-no question. That's just a question I just flat out won't answer. I've never answered that. No, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm not going to tell you exactly what they are or what we're going to do, but I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what I'm going to try, you know? You know, coming off Orlando, there's still some small things I need to finish and improve on, but I think it's good for me to have races where things don't go perfectly because it makes me hungry to get back into training and to fix those little small tiny things that end up either winning you a gold medal or losing you a gold medal. And that's kind of what I have to work on. You know, my 100 fly finish was really bad in Orlando, and my freestyle, I felt like I had no speed. So those are things that are really easy for us to work on, and the good news is the swimming is there. It's not like I'm out of shape, and physically this is probably the best shape I've been in maybe ever. So we're making steps in the right direction, and looking forward to having Bob at the next meet.
Bonnie, and then we'll go with Nick over here.
Hi, Bonnie Ford from ESPN. Michael, I'm struck by how you talk about London over and over, the lead up to London, as this tortured experience. And yet you did accomplish a few things in London. You won a few medals. You looked very happy and fulfilled. Do you feel differently about those medals than you do about medals you won in the previous Olympics? And if we see you looking happy and fulfilled in Rio, how are we going to know that that's real?
I mean, you can pretty much tell when I'm happy. If there's water getting shot out of my mouth after a race, that's usually a good sign that I'm pretty happy with my race. I mean, do the medals mean anything different? No, a medal is a medal. You know, I think I'll take the 200 fly from 08 for an example. I won and broke the world record, but I was still unhappy. and I was in shape then. Yeah, I won the 100 fly in 2012, but it was slower than I'd swum before. I mean, I'm hard on myself. I'm the hardest person on me. I always want what I want. I want my goals to be accomplished, and you know, to be honest, it's been kind of annoying not doing a best time since 2009. I take responsibility for most of that. But you know, it's crazy to think back that, yeah, I'm back in the pool again, but it's also kind of not. I think I'm in a different place now, and when I say this is my last one, this is my last one. And you know, I think when this summer is over, as long as I'm able to look back and say, I did everything I could to get ready, it doesn't matter what happened in anything else. If I don't win a single medal and I do everything I could, or I do everything I can to prepare myself for those, whatever it is, the Olympics or trials, that's all I'm happy with. That's all. Because that's all I could have done. And I know that every day when I'm in the pool now, I am working on doing every little tiny thing that I can do to make sure that I'm as prepared as I can be. If I go to Rio and don't final, yeah, I'm probably going to be a little pissed, but you know, that's what I had. And I think at that point, I think I'll be able to accept it. And I think that's where I'm in a different state of mind now than I was 4 years ago, than I was 8 years ago. You know, I think slightly different topic, but I think, you know, recently I've been able to kind of realize what I've been able to accomplish through my career. And it's been the first time in my life where I've ever been able to realize that. Throughout my whole career, I literally went from one meet to another, from one event to the next, from one medal to the next, one record to the next record. And it was, a lot of it was a blur. It went by so fast. And we were always looking for the next thing. And you know, when we moved down to Arizona, I remember I was looking at the medals and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like, I was able to look at all of them together, and I could remember back to every single thought that I had on the medal stand after the race, every single one of them. I mean, I could remember my facial expression after getting third in 2004 in the 200 free. Every little tiny thing. And that was the first time that I'd ever done that, and those things had ever sunk in. And I felt pretty cool. For the first time, I was able to look back at my career and be really excited and be proud of what I did, because I'd never had the chance to do that before. And that was just something that was really neat to me.
Go to Nick.
Nick Zaccardi, NBC Sports. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us, Michael. I want to go back to 2008. A writer recently reviewed Bob's book that's coming out, and he said in the book that Bob said he was training you as if to win 9 gold medals in 2008 until the Olympic schedule came out and you guys realized you couldn't do it.
Back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do a 200 back because I wouldn't give up the 200 IM.
So was there a time then leading into 2008, even if it was years before, that you were thinking 9 gold medals was a possible goal?
I mean, I think it was kind of like we were always trying to do as much as we could, so then we could be ready for anything. You know, I think it was kind of along the same lines of sort of like, you know, when my goggles would break at workout or I didn't have them at a meet, like I was just prepared for everything. I think that's kind of what it was. I mean, the event schedule at the Olympics is pretty much the same every time. And I qualified for the 200 back in 2004 at Olympic trials, and I dropped it. So I mean, I don't know if I really would have done it. I'm glad I didn't, because after the 200, the 200 IM final 100 fly semi, I didn't think I had anything left in the tank. But I think it was, you know, at that point, I think we were just we were looking forward to dreaming the biggest dreams that you could possibly dream. And that was something that really excited me. And we wanted to just see how far we could really think, and see what we could actually really do. And 9 would be really challenging. You had 3 more swims to that. Oh, someone wants to try it, go ahead. I would love to watch it. You got to be in good shape for that one.
Quick follow-up, sorry. Also from 08, one of your suits from 08 was recently up for auction. I want to see if you had an interesting story behind giving up that suit. Yeah.
What suit?
It just said one of your suits, and it was one of your Olympic teammates, actually, that was putting it up, according to the auction house.
I don't know anything about it.
We'll take last question.
I'm pretty sure I have all of my suits in my house or in secret spots where we've put things. So I mean, we literally have every suit I've ever worn. So that's kind of interesting.
This will be the last question.
Hi, Michael. I'm Oliver Brown from the Telegraph in London. How deep did your self-examination have to go last year? And could you also talk about the benefits of not having a drink for a year and a half? I think you mentioned in Orlando there were some physiological benefits to that.
I mean, for me, it had to go as deep as I wanted to go, and obviously there were a lot of things that I needed to fix and to kind of tackle in order to move. I think for me, last year, I just wanted to go into coming out of where I was. I wanted to be able to look back and say I got rid of everything that I was compartmentalizing for so many years, and that was a number of different things. You know, I think that you know, for me, being able to have a relationship with my father somewhat, I think is amazing. Something I always wanted to have as a kid and never did. And now we're able to communicate, and we talk probably weekly. So that's something that's really exciting for me and kind of cool, you know, for Nicole and I, where we are in our life. And that was strictly something that I wanted to do and I wanted to overcome. And so and the second part, you know, it's pretty crazy how big of a change I see, you know, from not having a drink in, it's almost coming up on a year and a half. Just because it's like I see a complete change in my body. I see a complete change in how I am day to day. Completely clear head. Don't have a headache, which is really awesome. Sometimes when you wake up, that's pretty amazing. It's just all those small things that really add up, and you know, for so long without having one, I'm actually happy every day. I'm actually able to be productive every day. I think that's something that I am very proud of. And you know, I think when I do retire, I'll be able to look back and say that was something that really helped.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
Cool.
Thanks, everyone, for coming tonight. A reminder that swimming Olympic trials are in Omaha from June 26th to July 3rd. And if you need more information, go to usswimming.org/trials. Thank you.
Good deal, everyone. We're a little behind schedule, so we're going to get moving fairly quickly here. If you can head back to the other side of the court, we're going to get going with the wrestling demo in just a